listening to Ryan Penagos and Tucker Markus on Marvel's Pull List.
All right. Thank you to our sponsors, and welcome back to Marvel's Pull List. You are listening to Marvel's Pull List right now, but we're moving on to our next segment, our monthly solicit segment. We're talking about a special announcement of new comics coming in February 2020.
How about we start with Gwen Stacy?
Yeah. Let's start with Gwen.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Coming from Marvel Comics, February 2020, we have Gwen Stacy #1.
Gwen and Peter, and they may not have met until Amazing Spider-Man 31 in 1965, but that doesn't mean Gwen's life began on that page. Learn the never-before-told origin of Gwen Stacy in Gwen Stacy #1.
That's right. Gwen's got her big science brain. She's got that no-quit attitude that kind of sometimes gets her into some trouble. And especially in the early Marvel Universe, which we're going to see in this book, that's a recipe for disaster.
Gwen Stacy #1 is coming in February 2020. That's Peter Parker's one true love, Gwen Stacy.
Whoa. What are you talking about here? Again with this?
Gwen.
Come on.
Gwen,
Come on. Mary Jane Watson.
I have a stat for you. It's
Every
called
time.
OTP. You ever heard of this stat?
You know I hate that millennial BS.
Look.
How about this stat? Amazing Mary Jane. One of the best-selling comics right now. All right? Take that.
You know what? That's
Done.
fine. That's fine. You know what?
Done.
I knew you were going to bring that up, but you're telling me the cast of characters like Captain Stacy, Harry Norman Osborn, Crime Master Wilson Fisk, Jean DeWolf, Yuri Watanabe, Pete himself. You saying Gwen can't do those numbers?
All right. That's pretty good. Yeah. All right.
Come on.
Let's move on. We actually have some callers calling in. They want to ask us about comics coming out in February. Let's go to Marianne on the car. You're on, Marianne.
Hey guys, long-time listener, first-time caller. Just wanted to know what's going on with that Falcon Winter Soldier book that's coming out in a few months.
Yeah, Marianne's talking about February 2020, where we have Falcon Winter Soldier #1.
All right, let's dig into this one, okay?
Yeah.
We got an office of dead government agents, a gifted new killer, 2 ex-Captain Americas, when a dramatic attempt on the life of Bucky Barnes reunites him with Sam Wilson. The 2 old friends, they're plunged headlong into a race to uncover the new leader of Hydra before a mass casualty event announces the terror group's resurgence to the world. This is bad news. The clock is ticking.
Sam Wilson, of course, the superior Captain America of the 2.
Unbelievable.
What?
Again.
You're saying Sam?
What are you talking about?
What?
Bucky.
Yeah.
Bucky
Look,
Barnes.
Yeah, Bucky's got the years on his side.
Barnes.
That's fine.
Everything Bucky's been through.
Yeah, okay, look.
Bucky Barnes.
You taking it back to the 1940s, Cap and Bucky. I'm taking it back to the 1970s. Huh? Bell bottoms.
Bucky was there from the beginning with Cap. He's been through so much. He's got the training. He's been augmented. Okay. He's the one who can wield the shield.
All right. You know what? I just think you're wrong. I don't know what else to say.
You're wrong
right now. Okay,
how about that?
That's fine. We're going to the next book. All right, we're moving on. X-Men Fantastic Four #1, spinning out of the now classic scene. In House of X #1, we have the first big touch point between what's going on in the X titles and now with the rest of the Marvel Universe with this new limited series.
The premise is simple, folks, all right? Let's get ready. Every known mutant lives on Krakoa except for one. Now it's time for Franklin Richards, time for him to come home.
Is it, though?
Of course it is. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about he needs to stay with his family.
Yeah, the X-Men, the mutants, that's his real family. That's his family. That's what the X-Men have been building for. They're making a safe place for Franklin to grow up.
Look, I got simple math for you. Sue Storm plus Reed Richards equals Franklin Richards.
There's no place he would be safe.
Mommy plus Daddy equals
Krakoa.
Franklin. Here's a new universe that he's creating for you. It's one where he stays with his family like he should.
Everything about the Marvel universe means he's a mutant. He's got to go to Krakoa. That's where he belongs. You want to ignore all of that?
Yeah. Okay, but what about Valeria? What's she gonna do?
She'll be fine.
She's
the smartest woman in the universe.
Yeah, I get
She's
it.
a kid. She's gonna be smarter than all of them. What are you talking about?
Look, I understand.
This ain't even about Valeria.
Look, Reed Richards, Sue Storm. I will sue you because that's how much I think Franklin Richards needs to stay with his family. The first family, the Fantastic Four.
You don't know what you're talking about. Franklin's got to be with other mutants.
All right, you know what? Whatever. Yeah, okay, whatever. Before we move on, folks, I want to thank our sponsors. Our first sponsor is Ant-Man. Coming in February 2020 from Marvel Comics, Ant-Man #1 welcomes Scott Lang back to the center of the Marvel Universe, and he's better than ever. That's Ant-Man #1 in February 2020. Ant-Man, he's small, and he's also a thief. Okay, this hour has also been brought to you by our sponsor, Wolverine, another February 2020 book from Marvel Comics. Wolverine #1 presents Jonathan Hickman's bold new era from mutant kind in this all-new series starring Wolverine and his X-Men companions. That's writer Benjamin Percy and legendary artist Adam Kubert bring the best there is to his new home in Wolverine #1.
That's Wolverine #1. Wolverine, Harry.
Okay, let's head back to the phones.
Yeah, who we got on the phones now?
What do we got? We got Dave on Long Island. Dave, what do you say?
Hey guys, Tucker, you're 100% right with the cap debate.
Thank you.
What
Thanks,
is
Dave.
going on? What is wrong with this world right now?
That's right, Dave.
Bucky Barnes. Think about this. Bucky Barnes, robotic arm, shield throwing, built into what he is.
And I just think that Sam is just...
Dave?
We lost Dave.
I think we lost Dave.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Moving on to our last book. What do you say?
Let's do, tell me a little bit about Conan the Barbarian #13.
Yeah. Conan the Barbarian, #13. This is February 2020. It's a perfect jumping on point for new readers. The first issue is brought to you by new creative team writer Jim Zub, who's previously written an arc of Savage Sword of Conan, and Hoye Antonio, whose first Conan story, Conan 2099, is on sale this month. But in Conan the Barbarian #13, Conan finds himself in the mystical Uttara Kuru, which is further on the eastern border than the young barbarian has ever traveled. And with the new city comes new dangers. Unfamiliar with the language, Conan inadvertently agrees to be the latest entrant to the Great Crucible. The people of the city support their foreign champion, but what will Conan sacrifice to overcome this ordeal?
This one, again, coming February 2020.
All right, folks, our hour is wrapping up here, but before we end, I just wanted to remind you that you can start your very own poll list at your local comic shop. Just visit comicshoplocator.com to find one near you. That's Comic Shop Locator, ComicShopLocator.com to find one near you.
All right, you've been listening to Marvel's Poll List. Farewell for now. We'll be back with a regular episode next week.
And the March preview next month. I'm
Agent M, a.k.a. Ryan Penagos.
And I'm Tucker Markus.
This is Marvel.
Your universe.
On Marvel.